All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is So I Did a Thing, and I failed at life last week because I was supposed to have created the event and scheduled this. Uh, hey, Aaron, scheduled this like on Thursday, and I totally forgot to do it. Christina messaged me last night. She was like, "Hey, where's the event?" And I was like, "Oh crap!" But anyway, I got it done this morning. So thank y'all for being here. Hey, Robert. Robert Berry's here. So my guest tonight, like I said on the promo, necessity is the mother of all invention, or however the saying goes. And as an educator and a mother of a special needs kid, she saw a need that needed to be filled, and so she created something really cool to kind of help that, and it's kind of blown up and gone crazier and been more successful than she ever thought it would be. Hey, Leanne, how are you? Katie McManus, my new bestie, is here. Yeah, she scheduled for the totally wrong day when I went live with her. Like, wouldn't even, yeah, it happened. So I'm going to bring Christina out. Hi, Christina.
Hi.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So just tell us a little bit about yourself. Kind of start at the top and work your way down, or start at the bottom and work your way up,
That's
or
why
however you want to do it.
the way it
Yeah.
works.
Yeah, exactly.
So, as you mentioned, my name is Christina, and I am the CEO and founder of Creative Beginning, which ironically started as a small home based business with me on maternity leave, ironically, with the boy that helped start this whole thing. Um, and then just personalized gifts, nothing crazy, making a couple extra bucks here and there. And then Luca was born and diagnosed with autism at the age of 3. Um, and I try not to get emotional every time I bring that up, but
It's
but as
okay.
yeah, as an educator, I had worked in special ed for many years. I've been teaching kindergarten now for 12 years, teaching overall for 17. But um, you always come across kids with different needs. And so when Luca was approaching his diagnosis, it was kind of like, okay, this is a challenge. This is something new, but this is not going to be a barrier for him.
Mm-hmm.
And so, again, teaching kindergarten, I know one of the main skills that you need is being able to write your name and identifying
Right.
your name entering kindergarten. And so
Mm-hmm.
I decided to create a name puzzle for him. This is the original.
That's
um,
what started it all, huh?
this is the name that started it all. This is the puzzle that started it all. And then, but on the base, I added a chalk base. So Luca was very big with textiles, except his fine motor difficulties were quite severe. So he
Mm-hmm.
couldn't hold a pencil. Holding a piece of chalk, which mimics a pencil grip, was quite difficult. So with this, I mean, obviously I wrote on this myself, but when he would do it, even if he wasn't quite able to make a straight line, because he was within an indented space, he was still seeing successful printing of his name. So lo and behold, using this puzzle, he learned to write his name on paper in 4 weeks, which
Wow.
mind blowing.
Yeah.
I was shocked and excited, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, now what? The sky is the limit for this little guy. And so
Right.
I brought the same concept into my kindergarten classroom, one with a child who was diagnosed, ironically, with autism as well, and one without, who was also having difficulty with writing his name. And the
Mm-hmm.
same thing happened. So the same success happened. And you can imagine, as someone who's coming up with something, I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to do with this?
Right. Like,
I'm on to something. And even
like
the parents were,
exactly.
yeah. But the thing I noticed is the other kids were watching. Kids are watching. They're all interested. How can I get them to play with this? They can play with a Luca board, but really, what benefit would they have from that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then I decided, I looked around my room, saw nothing that combines identification and printing. And we say identification meaning letters, like recognizing them, but also printing. So we made a larger version. I'm going to knock off the letters here. And same concept, indented spaces, tracers, unable to go out of the lines because they're
Mm-hmm.
within that space. So I did that with an alphabet board as well as a number 1 to 20 board, which I can show you as well. There it is there.
Okay.
Neutral color scheme. Kindergarten's all about neutrality. And yeah, just went with it. I don't even, some people ask me, how'd you get here? I'm like, really don't quite know. It kind of just happened. Found a manufacturer overseas, got my prototypes, played with them, with various organizations, daycares, Montessori's, and then just decided to go full stream with it. Got a patent for the base, got a trademark for Creative Beginning. It's just been like a whirlwind. Yeah. And so now we're basically just, I say we, I mean me. I'm a one-woman show, and just expanding the chalkboard base concept across, now we're reaching, higher grades, grade 1 and 2. And just really bridging that gap and making people realize that whether a child has a diagnosis or not, they are still able to perform the necessary skills as long as they have the right resources. And that's key. So, yeah.
Aaron asked if I'm assuming there's like pictures and stuff of the board on the website.
Yeah, we are on creativebeginning.ca, and then there's a .com that's connected to that.
Okay, I just dropped the link in the comments. It did not populate as a link for them to click on, but that's it. Creative.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say creative-beginning.com.
So right now we're shipping. We're all over Canada, the U.S. We just launched in Australia, which was a huge step for us, and they're taking the educational toy space by storm. We're all in all the major educational catalogs in Ontario, and that are spread across the school boards, which is amazing. And just reaching. Next goal is retail and getting those ducks in order. So.
You said whenever we chatted last week, you mentioned y'all were in Australia now. That's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I met with someone on LinkedIn, actually connected with somebody on LinkedIn.
I love it.
And we had a great meeting, and we discussed options, and they have full skids. I ship directly to them, and they're distributing there. So it's just been, it's so crazy. It's so exciting.
Yeah. That
So.
is so cool. So how, like, I know you mentioned, like, you look at it and you're like, you don't even know how it happened. But tell us more about like being in the educational space versus retail. So like, where are people buying this stuff for the educational space if it's not available like in retail stores? And I know we mentioned, we can talk about that too in a second, as you mentioned how hard it is to get into the retail. But go ahead.
Yeah. So my main goal initially was the educational spaces, because they have the ability to reach more teachers, and that was key. So teachers can order directly from, let's say, Scholar's Choice or Wintergreen or Canadian Education Warehouse, and they can get them delivered to their schools. And I don't know what it's like in the US, but teachers have a budget that they can use for their classroom, so they can purchase things for their classroom. So that was a huge thing, because it just allows more teachers to get their hands on these. And then we use a platform called, there's a wholesale platform that we have that reaches the US and Canada for, different small shops. So that's what we've been doing there. And then as far as retail has been literally networking. I'm finding that you have to have that experience, but that passion to reach out to people. So, you try not to do it too much on LinkedIn, but you kind of get the, reach out from contacts that you've met, at different fairs or whatnot, or online, and then reach out through that. And that's how I kind of reached out to one of our major retailers she actually took me on as sort of like a chat as a mentor.
That's awesome.
Name, but, and I had a conversation with her, and then she invited me to send the products in, and I was like, okay, sure.
Yeah, right.
So that might be, I'm just waiting to finish a follow-up conversation with her, but she has all of our products in her hands, and I'm hoping that that's kind of like where things start. But a lot of people who connect with me are connected to the story,
Yeah.
the story of Luca, and his story is on every puzzle. And
Yeah.
it's ironic because he's quite cute with it, because he doesn't quite understand what is going on. He just sees his face on about 5,000 puzzles that are in my storage unit.
Right.
And it's adorable because my older son is like, Luca, do you not know what's happening here? That's me. That's what he says. That's me.
That's me.
That's me.
Whatever.
I give it about 10 years, then he might realize what's going on.
Yeah. That's awesome. And it's got to be cool as a teacher and for the kids, like for them to be able to just start writing. And like you said, being in that confined space so that they don't go off like this, that there's some semblance, and it just trains them over and over without being able to, connect the imaginary dots outside. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what happens in kindergarten. We can't just hand a student a workbook and say, here, take a pencil. There are strategies that you have to put in place in order to build those fine motor skills. And the thing with our boards is it provides a platform to do that. So we talk about not going out of the lines anymore. And writing in that space, they're like, oh, I'm like, what letter is that? It's a B. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's we call it successful printing.
Yeah.
You're fostering success, and that's so important. When a child sees success, they want to keep learning. They want
That was just fixing to say that. It's got to be some motivation for them where they were getting discouraged before. Because
you can imagine a child who's on the spectrum who has those challenges, when fine motor skills is a skill that is very difficult for a lot of them, to be able to use this is just, it's exciting for me. It's exciting for them.
And they can pick up, whether you're being patient or not, there's bound to be some level of frustration and, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? And they can pick up on that no matter how well you're hiding it. They can read the disappointment or whatever on your face. So to be able to give them that boost of where they did it and everybody's happy for them.
Throwing them a party because they did it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you know what, coming from not only like a mom of special needs with Luca plus a teacher, my nerves were shot when I was thinking about what am I going to do to teach him? How can I teach him? What can I do to help him? As an educator, I felt like it was mine. As a mom, you feel like it's your responsibility to set your child on the right path. And I didn't.
And I imagine being an educator too, sorry to interrupt you, but being an educator too, on top of being a mom, you were adding some extra pressure to yourself. Like, you should be able to figure this stuff out. That's what you do. You're a mom and a teacher.
Yep. And a part of me, and I don't say this often, you get nervous about even just your child having that diagnosis. I ran into numerous parents who are almost in denial to even admit to the teacher that your child is autistic or has a special need or a learning disability. But coming from me, and I've actually, you don't really disclose to parents about your personal life, but there was a time where I actually said to a mom, I am in the same boat as you. Your child will learn. We will figure out a way for her to learn. Trust me. And it was like an aha moment where this mother wasn't alone.
Right.
And any autism mummies out there, daddies out there watching, you can attest to that, So.
Yeah, 100%. And that's got to be something really cool too for parents, when you do decide to disclose that to them, that you're not just the teacher of a special needs kid, you're also the mom of a special needs kid. So that gives you even more experience or insight, or credibility or whatever,
And using that advocacy.
Yeah.
And I get upset sometimes because I know what's available in the school board. I know what's there. I know you have to ask, you have to advocate. And if I can use my platform now to advocate for those children, where do I sign up?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's been also a stance. Like, that's what this has turned into as well, is not only am I an entrepreneur, I'm now a person who's saying, I'm an autism mommy. I created a product for my child who has autism. And
it works.
Yes, it works. And you can bridge that gap. There doesn't have to be a gap between children with special needs and not. You can use the same product to teach children at that age.
Does it help them with like identifying their letters too, that they know A is A, B is B?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did a lot of research too, and studies show that when you, I feel like I'm talking like a journal here, but studies show that when you combine identification and printing at the same time, the comprehension level is far greater than just with
that makes sense.
orally saying it. Which I've been teaching for 18 years, and it took me how long to put that into practice?
That makes sense though, because they're seeing it, they're being told that this is A, they're writing it, and then they're having to use their little minds to put it back in the right space and associate.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of associations going on at the same time.
That's a great word, Chris. Association. I like
that just makes sense. Yeah.
It does. And our next prototypes coming. They're like on their way. Have shape components, lowercase letters, word families. Like we are taking this.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Dadgummit. I had a question.
Everyone's quiet on the chat.
I know everyone is quiet. There's people here too. They're listening. They're reacting.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, I hate it when I do that. I do this at least once per show.
I like Jacob's comment. Brilliant strategy and amazing results in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I said.
Right. Exactly. Oh, tell us about, didn't you say there's customized ones with their names that are hand painted? Tell us about that.
That's all from me. So I paired with a fantastic, I call her my woodcutter, Jennifer. She's from Stouffville. She's from Made in a Barn. And we collaborated together to basically, we design them on a computer and send her the file, and she cuts them. They come back to me. I paint. You should see my garage. It's like Santa's workshop. And get them all together and ship them out. Ship them up or pick up, depending on where our friends are from. So yeah, and the customization options are quite lengthy. You can do, some people do, rainbow colors so they can add identification of colors in there. Some people do patterns. Some people do it for aesthetic purposes. The sky's the limit with that. We add some images to it, silhouette images, if they have, just to really get the child interested in the puzzle. I had one mom message me the other day. She's like, I need a car. It has to have a car or he won't play with it. I'm like, okay. I'm on it. Don't worry. So, and just on those lines of that communication with the clients is, I think it's so important to be able to have a chat with those that pick them up. Conversations about where we're coming from and why we started this, because that connection that I have with my clients is vital. Yeah. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them.
That's how, and I think maybe knew I was talking to about Erica Rankin.
Yeah.
With Brodo, that's how she started out, hand delivering stuff locally, and she got to know her clients.
Yeah.
And know her customers and build a relationship with them.
So Stouffville, Ontario is a very small community, and that's where I'm from. And I was telling my dad the other day, I was in Walmart and they said, hey, are you the puzzle girl? I have arrived.
Yeah.
I have arrived.
You were recognized in Walmart.
The puzzle girl. I'm like, I'm Christina. Nice to meet you.
Right. The puzzle girl has a name, first off.
You know what it is too, is just things start rolling, right? You get into the local papers, you get into the local newscasts, you get, articles in the local magazine. Like, it's when stuff starts rolling, people start seeing. And I get messages about, thank you for making a product for special needs and mainstream. Like, it's so overwhelming and exciting at the same time. So.
And you, right now, like, refresh my memory. I know you're doing all the custom ones out of your house. Are all the the other ones, the mass produced ones, are you distributing those out of your house too?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. I love to
I
see
just
stuff like that.
actually rented a storage unit.
Okay, so it's no longer sitting in your
It's
living
not
room.
just in the garage. And the funny
Right.
part was when the first shipment arrived, I said to my almost 13-year-old, I'm like, okay, ready? Let's bring him to the basement. He's like, huh? All these boxes. We had like my dad was here in assembly line to the stairs to the basement. But now it's getting to a point where, you know, you get one huge PO, which is what is happening, and then they're all gone, and then you have to you got to count for that. You got to stay on top of the supply chain, right?
Yeah.
So,
Are you having any supply chain issues?
not really. We had
Good.
a little bit of a delay just after the holidays because of the big flooding in BC. So product got there and it didn't move. So I was kind of in a bit of a panic because I had actually finally had sold out. And then ironically, it was like a chain reaction where 2 news broadcasts aired and then the rush to my website and then everything just sold out. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to be in this position ever again.
Right.
So you live and learn, right? I jumped into this entrepreneurial journey with my eyes closed, literally. And a wise friend said to me, just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. And so I did. And she's probably watching right now. But she's probably like, that was me. You got to. You have to.
Yeah.
Something, right?
It's it. And so how long have you been doing this?
The boards, Creative Beginning was 2014, but the boards arrived in 2019.
Okay.
And then it was full steam ahead from there.
So what was it between 2014 and 19?
I was not in the best position in my life, to be honest. I wasn't in a good spot where I felt confident in myself, or I was also playing around with the prototypes. So I think it was a combination of not being in a good spot plus just waiting to see. And then once things really settled and I got back to where I needed to be, I was like, that's it, let's go. Yeah. Full steam ahead. Everybody says there's never really a right time to start, which I would totally agree with. Yep. But when you know, just go for it.
Yeah. I was talking to Katie McManus about that a couple of weeks ago when I was a guest on her live stream. We were talking about live streaming, but it's the same for anything. If you're always waiting for the right time to start, you're never going to start.
Yeah.
Like nothing is ever going to be aligned just perfectly the way you think it should be for you to start something.
And the other thing too is nothing is ever just going to be smooth sailing.
Right. Especially in entrepreneurship.
Speaking of Erica, she posted a very clear and candid video of her having like a moment of just, and I'm like, I messaged her. I'm like, I so felt that.
Yeah.
I totally felt that. You go through those ups and downs, and there's a week where, like I said, mention my dad all the time. I'm super close with my family, and he's like my biggest cheerleader. Hi, Dad. You're probably watching.
That's awesome.
And he's like, it's okay. Like, you're allowed to have those weeks where it's not going to be go, go, go. Like, take that time just to chill out a little bit. And then a week will go by, and then something big will happen, and you'll be like, see?
Told you. Yeah.
Told you. Listen to your father. Listen. So, but yeah, right now we're just waiting to hear from Dragon's Den, which is our Canadian version of Shark Tank.
Yes. That's how we were talking about Erica, was y'all were both pitching at about the same time.
We pitched the same day.
Yeah.
We did. I'm like, me too. Like, it was just my fellow Torontonian.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be something.
That would be something. That would be cool.
Yeah, I'm so ready.
Yeah.
And then they talk about get your numbers in order. They're there. Just give me a chance to. My energy's there. I think I could.
Yeah. Have you been practicing? Like if they tell you you're coming on the show, like
my pitch? I think I stream my pitch every night, talking in my sleep. Yeah. Because once what the thing is, once you start telling your story, it just becomes, let's say habit, but you're sharing your experience. You're, like, it's a constant thing, right? I mean, when it comes to Dragon's Den, you need to have your numbers down, but this is when you're passionate about something. I find it's very easy just to chat about it without getting emotional, which, oh my goodness.
And getting emotional is okay.
I did it on a news broadcast, and they used that piece on
Of course they did.
Ah!
Emotion sells.
You know what? But it's from the heart. Like I've seen how far Luca has come from, and now he's in grade 3, and he is just a ball of learning. I learn more from him every day than sometimes my son and I look at each other like, did he just say that? Did he just tell me that California has this, this, and this, and the Eiffel Tower's in Paris? Like he just. Oh, I'm reading that comment. She's gonna make me cry.
I don't know if it's gonna all show up.
Yeah,
You can read it all on the side.
I wish my boys were still small.
Could have used those letters and boards when they were younger. As an ex-military person, you should sell those to the VA for the occupational therapy department. Oh, that's a good idea. Occupational therapy.
Funny that you mentioned OT.
Oh,
there are so many different places I can take this, and Peggy, that is one of them that is on my goal list, my vision board.
Yes.
Yep. Thank you for sharing that.
Occupational therapy. That is, that's why the beauty of LinkedIn and social networking, social media. I mean, you probably already thought about it, but I never would have thought about occupational therapy. Just a little bit. Yeah.
There are so many, like, you got to watch too, because your mind can go in so many different directions.
Yeah, I can imagine.
When I first started, I'm like, okay, educational spaces first. But then the educational spaces turned into the toy book in the USA, specialty toys. I'm like, oh man, they're touching that aspect now. And
I think that's a natural progression as you go on. You know, it was born out of necessity in education, and that's where your mind is at, and as a mother and as a teacher. So naturally, that's where your mind, that's where you're going to try and market it and build it. But then as you go on, you start seeing the need for it in other places.
And I love that.
Yeah,
because it's not just, hey, this was for a child with special needs. No, this is for this child. And like, there's so many options, and that is such a huge mindset change for some people, because a lot of people don't think, oh wait, I can use this product for special needs and mainstream. What? In comes Christina, who says, yes, you can. And we will keep pushing for that and bridging that gap that should not exist between special needs and mainstream.
Right.
Yeah. So, you just get me so like worked up when I talk about
it. I know, that's awesome though. It's funny how, it's not funny. I did a post on this last week. I used to look at entrepreneurs and they'd be talking about the hustle and the grind and how they're so passionate and they can't think of anything else but their business. And I'd be like, man, if that's the way being an entrepreneur is, and I don't want any part of that, because that is ridiculous. And now that I've started my own business, I'm like, oh, that's what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Because your mind's constantly going, constantly thinking of ways to improve, ways to tweak, ways to make this better, ways to,
exhausting and exciting.
Yeah, exactly. Exhausting and exciting.
And you have to turn it off sometimes. You do. And there was another post, speaking of which, of someone saying it's okay for self-care. It's okay to stop and chill out. And, now the weather's changing. I'm going to be going outside more often.
Yeah.
Just really taking care. And hi, Avery.
Hey, Avery, that is my pastor's grandson.
Oh.
Yeah, he hops on here every once in a while. They live like 3 hours from here, and when they come up to visit, I was talking to his mom or something. I've known his mom for years, and he found out I had a YouTube channel, so that little sucker went home and subscribed to it.
I love it.
Yeah, I don't even remember how old he is. 10 maybe or something. I don't remember.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
we're in different time zones.
We are.
Hi, miss. Oh.
Hi, miss. Oh.
You just aged me, Avery.
I know. I didn't get a hi, mister. And I've got gray hair.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. What time zone are you in? You're in Eastern time zone? You in
Central. Eastern? Oh, my gosh.
Okay. Okay. Eastern.
Toronto time.
He's 11.
Here.
Okay. He is 11. Avery is 11.
a wise boy at 11,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. They get, my oldest is almost 13.
Okay.
And Luca's just turned 9. God forbid you tell him if he misbehaves, he's going down to 8. He gets really mad. It's funny because I love him. He is very literal. Like, you can't be like, oh, when pigs fly. He'll be like, what?
He'll be
Like,
looking.
you can't,
Yeah.
you can't use those types of phrases.
Yeah.
But-
Aaron Mangum, he was on here. I think he's still on here. He has a special needs son. He was a guest 2 or 3 weeks ago. And he kind of did the same thing, born out of necessity. He created a network, or is creating a network, created and is continuing to create, let's put it that way, of special needs friendly businesses in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
We just connected today, actually.
Oh, did you? Okay. Never
I'm
mind.
on it, Chris.
You already know.
We will be chatting, I'm sure. Aaron, right?
good.
Are you still here?
Yeah, he is.
Like-minded individuals.
Yeah.
Love it.
Small taters, but definitely reaching out about this. Yeah, Aaron's doing cool things with Hank's friends.
I love it.
Yeah. Hey, Val.
Hey,
Good
Val.
to see you.
I want to know if any of my friends and family are on here, because I know.
So if anybody is watching on Christina's side, drop a comment. It will show up over here in the Restream dashboard, and I'll be able to put it on screen. That way she knows if anybody is watching on her Facebook or her LinkedIn, because we won't know till you comment.
Right?
All you lurkers out there.
Where are the creepers?
Yeah, where are the creepers? Hey, Julie. Julie's on YouTube.
Julie, I saw a comment. George.
Hey,
Okay,
George is here. Yeah, go ahead.
George he's my sales guy.
Okay, right on.
We've known each other for, oh man, George, at least, I think we had this chat the other day, more than 10 years.
Okay.
Been watching from the beginning.
Okay.
And
yeah, lurking.
anytime
He's been lurking
something
from the
happens,
beginning.
George is he works for an amazing company. He's an amazing sales guy. I don't know if I'm using the right title, but I don't want to give that away. But anytime I have a question, I'm like, what do you think about this? Oh my gosh, this just happened. And I send him, I'm like, hey, how are you? Check this out. Like, it's like, he's one of my go-tos, and I'm forever thankful for his friendship, because
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's nice to have those people in your corner. That's for sure.
Yes.
And one thing is for sure, you do know who is in your corner and who supports you and who doesn't. 12 years. Yeah. I've seen it all from the beginning.
That's awesome.
But,
excuse me.
Yeah. The power of social media.
Yeah, man. If you'd have told me a year ago, if you'd have told me in December 2020 when I joined LinkedIn that less than a year later, this country boy from Texas would be live streaming on the internet and making a business out of it, all because of LinkedIn, I'd have laughed in your face.
Yeah. I cannot believe the amount of connections I've made on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I cannot even tell you. I don't know what I would have done without LinkedIn.
Yeah.
On it. Like, even go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, like just reaching out and like, you don't want to be the one that messages as soon as you connect and be like, hey, you work for these people. How do I? No, you can't do that. Like, no. I'm forever grateful just for the connection and just to see where people are and, different parts of the world and their takes on things. And that's how you build that relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't have, like, we were just awarded, I create a beginning.
Yeah, it's all.
People are like, why do you say we? I said, because it's a whole,
I say that all the time when I'm talking about, like, when I'm doing some sort of Firebird Studios related something. Yeah, we can help you, or we can do this. And I'm like, yeah, it's me. By we, I mean I.
We got the Mom's Choice Award for family friendly product.
Yes.
I was like, I'm like, and that was all because of reaching out. We were supposed to go to Toy Fair, New York, which was canceled. My first Toy Fair. I was so excited and so ready. But leading up to it, there was quite a few connections made. But yeah, Mompreneur of the Year. Just got nominated for
Awesome.
RBC Entrepreneur of the Year. I'm like, really? But yeah, all because of LinkedIn.
Yeah.
All those connections. Yeah.
Right.
That's better by
Avery.
we. I mean you.
Hey, listen. I don't mean to be hijacking this, but Bro
Avery.
gets on. Yeah, I know you see my comment, bro. I
Comments,
didn't
bro.
put.
What is it with the bro? It's
I
like
don't
a new.
know.
Oh, my kids that too. Julie, that's way better than by we. I mean you.
Yeah, by we I mean me.
It's a hard habit to get out of.
It is.
And then you get someone who's like, "Who's we?" Me, myself, and I.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Yeah. I mean, I do have a creative graphic partner and a video editing partner, so it is kind of a we can do this
Yeah.
for you.
I have George.
Yeah, you have George,
I have
exactly.
George. And I have my parents.
And you have the woman that does the custom boards.
Yes, and I have Jennifer. I hope Jennifer's
Jennifer.
watching.
Yeah. So there is we there.
There is a we.
It's
Yes.
a team effort.
I actually first someone was asking me the other day, are you gonna head to your manufacturers overseas to see how they cut your puzzles? I'm like, oh, that's far.
That would be cool to do, though, to say you visited the plant and watched them being made, talk to the
Actually, my
people that were
Australian
cutting them.
The CEO of my Australian team, he was like, you need to go. You need to go see. And he goes, you go there and then you swerve over to Australia and come visit us.
Yeah,
I'm like, that would be cool.
it would be cool.
So many
I mean, I think you would. I don't know where your boards are being made, but if I had stuff being done in Australia, I would definitely have to go because I've always wanted to visit there.
Right? I know. My son wants to go. My youngest wants to go, but only because there's certain characters that live there, and he thinks that we can go visit their houses. I tried telling that to him, who doesn't quite understand.
Yeah, I know.
Like, we cannot. Can we go to Australia, Mom? I'm like, not for the reasons you want.
Right, exactly.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I would have, like, as I keep growing, it's been such a quick growth in a short amount of time that it's definitely on the horizon. There's a whole lot of stuff that's on the horizon with growth and building and, looking at hiring, and just there's so many different things that are to come, and I can't wait to share with everybody when that happens.
Yeah. Sarah Kay, I don't know who you are, but thanks for joining. Do you know Sarah Kay? I probably know her, and she's going to be like, oh, it's Sarah so-and-so. And I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, okay, I know you.
I don't know. I think it might be. Is it the Sarah that I know?
I don't know. She's on my YouTube.
Sarah Kintish. I think it might be my Sarah. My Sarah.
Not you can have her. You can have her. If she's yours, you can have her.
Thanks for the support, Sarah.
Yeah, thank you.
But definitely, you guys need to go check out the website. The Australian website is going to be moved to the Canadian and American website. They're just going to attach them over. Yeah, they did a really good job of revamping over there. It's just adding the .au. It's me, you're welcome. See, I knew it was her.
Well, good. It is your Sarah.
Yeah, it is my Sarah. Yeah, Sarah's another one, liking posts, and she does some crafty stuff too. She's a crafty Carol. But you know what? Everyone says to me, why do you support other mamas? I'm like, if you can't support each other, there's a serious problem. Like, I know that there's some people around, like even in our area, that just is like literally copying everybody else. And I'm thinking to myself, why are we doing that? No, you're a mom too. Some of them are educators. Just do you. You know what I mean? You can still be successful and support, the other person down the street. It is possible. But it's just a shame that there's some people that are afraid to support others, and it's disheartening.
Yeah. But, it is. Like, what are you going to lose? Like, I don't know if they're afraid that if they support, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
know. Like, it's going to be competition or something. Like, I don't know.
You're doing you.
Yeah, I know. Like, I don't know what.
You're competing with yourself, really.
Yeah.
If you're excited about your own stuff, then, I think the one thing that I got, the best advice I ever got was be the first to market. be the first one in the space, be the first one to get in there, because whether you could have all the support in the world, but if you are not that first person and people don't know who you are, look out.
Yeah.
So the goal of Creative Beginning is to make a name for it.
Mhm.
That's it.
I mean,
So
look
far,
at
so good.
Sarah Blakely, the CEO of Spanx, probably one of the first people to do shapewear or whatever you want to call it for women. Now there's a ton of different brands, but it's Spanx is the one.
I don't know any other brands. Not that I
Yeah.
use them.
But I mean, a woman could
Yeah.
say, "Yeah, I've got my Spanx on," and it could be the Target brand or or Nike brand or whatever. But it's forever Spanx, whatever it is.
Yep. Why don't you build yourself up and establish yourself?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
Don't ask me why in the hell the first thing that came to my mind was the women's shapewear. For an example, I don't know why.
We can discuss that later.
I'm like,
How the hell do
I even know that? I don't know.
Oh, Julie, great analogy.
Yes. More than enough toys in the sandbox for all of us.
And I know Julie's not a teacher.
Nope, she's not, but she is a trainer, a corporate trainer, not like a gym trainer.
Definitely more than enough. And there's kids can play together too.
Exactly.
You can be nice.
Yeah.
There's not a mean bone in my body. I don't know if it's just the kindergarten teacher in me. I had one parent say to me today, "You have a lot of energy." I'm so calm. And I'm like, you're working with 3 in Canada or kindergarten. They could start as early as 3.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think your kindergarten program is a little bit later.
Yeah.
But,
like 5.
Yeah. So I'm working with 3 and 4-year-olds who come in and they're like super scared. You have to be.
What's up, Kenny?
Kenny
D. That's him in the flesh.
They're not edible though, so we can't.
Have you thought about making edible ones?
Oh my! They would be. What?
Refills. Then you sell the refills.
Oh my God.
It'd be like
those poor teachers. Can you imagine?
that'd be a.
You don't share snacks, Chris. No, you can't do that.
No, I don't share snacks. You were right about that.
Oh.
Yep.
You know what's funny, Julie, is they say you either love kindergarten or you hate it. There is no in between. Mm-hmm. We have supply teachers that say, "I will do any grade but kindergarten." I'm like, but you haven't met my kids.
Yeah.
My kids are awesome.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I would imagine it does take a special breed to be a kindergarten teacher.
They are the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Sponge-like children. Mm-hmm. Sponge-like little humans. You can show them anything and they pick it up. I had parents, "My child learned to read in kindergarten." Yes. You can show them a book and you can teach them.
Yeah.
They learn to add. Yes. That's my job, is to teach your child. Yeah. I absolutely love it. Like, you could be in the worst mood and you show up to work and they're like, "Miss Clara, I missed you." I'm like, and there's my day.
It's only been 16 hours, but thank you. Right. Or 12 hours, whatever.
Even after 17 years, I'm still.
Yeah. That's
people
awesome.
Always ask, "Are you going to retire from kindergarten? Are you going to retire from teaching? When this really goes crazy?"
Yeah, I was fixing to ask you. I remember asking you when we chatted, but I was fixing to ask you the same thing. Do you see yourself retiring when this takes off?
I can see this setting me up for.
Setting you up for retirement?
Setting nicely.
Yeah.
That's a very tough question.
Yeah.
Because I love my job so much, but I'm in a good opportunity where I can combine my career with my education, my career with my entrepreneurial journey.
Journey, yeah.
Yes, I drew a blank for a second there. But I'm in a good spot where I can actually do that.
Yeah.
And there's moments, even today, I was sitting there and I was teaching and I'm like, "Oh, I need to make this." This is next. Like, it's just your mind just keeps going because I'm in that space, right? Mm-hmm. So
now you're constantly seeing needs.
Yeah.
That you could fix or fill.
I saw them before, but I didn't know what to do. I didn't have the products to.
Well, that's been triggered in your head now.
Yeah. well, now people are coming to me. We need to make this.
Yeah.
How do we make this? I'm like, hold on. I think my manufacturer is going to be, he messaged me today. He's like, another one?
Yes, another one, bro.
The sky's the limit.
Yeah.
This is Creative Beginning. You will hear it and see it as a brand. You will know Creative Beginning that was on Chris's podcast.
Yeah. Way back when.
Way back when.
Yeah.
The single mama from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Stouffville, actually. It's even smaller. Yep. With one idea for one little boy.
Yeah. And, you know, even if you never retire from teaching to do Creative Beginning full time, you know, there's always, you hire somebody to run it or whatever, and you're still the CEO, and the buck stops with you. Yeah. But then you hire an operations manager or whatever you want to call it, chief operations officer or something to do the everyday running, and you be the creative genius behind it.
A little inside joke with some of the teachers that I work with. They're like, I'll work. I'll come paint puzzles. So, and it's funny because the main goal was for the manufactured boards. That was the main push. So that I didn't have to, you know, do the painting and whatnot. And then all of a sudden it was like, no, but we really like, we really need the customized ones. I'm like, okay, we'll keep going.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then with the next prototypes coming out that involve shapes, which was actually combined into one of the boards that I make that you'll see on our website. We're trying to include that in the next prototype so that we don't have to have, you know, a separate. Yeah. How do you find these gems of human beings as guests for your shows?
Man, look, Kenny, I don't even remember how I connected with Christina. Usually I can remember.
I think I might have reached out to you.
You did, and I don't remember if you connected with me first. I don't remember how it went down. I do remember you sent me a DM and was like, hey,
how
do I get on your podcast? And I was like, hey, I think you just did.
I'm like, how do you share this story?
Yeah.
I told you I had a lot of energy.
And that's awesome. I love it.
You regret it, don't you?
No, not even a little bit. It makes for a good show. I love it whenever I have guests that are really passionate about stuff. You know, that's kind of where I tend to target those kind of people to ask them. And then the ones that ask me are usually passionate enough about it that they're trying to get whatever it is out there. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not like I have a great, not like a whole lot of people ever show up, usually 10 to 15, but it's not like I got 100 people listening all the time, but, it makes me feel good when people like you reach out because they're like, hey, let me come on. And I'm like, all right, cool. So that just shows me that you're passionate enough to try and get the hustle into anywhere you can to get your name out there.
Let's do that tomorrow.
I love it.
You're like 2 weeks. I'm like, 2 weeks. I'm ready for now.
Yeah, ready for now. And I think whenever you DM me, I was like a couple months out or a month and a half out or something.
Yeah.
And I'm longer than that now. I always tell myself, and I tell everybody I talk to, potential clients and people that I talk to about live streaming, like, don't book yourself out more than about 6 weeks because you lose flexibility. And it never fails. I look up and I'm booked out for 3 months because somebody's reached out to me. So instead of putting them on a list, I just go ahead and put them on the calendar, or I see somebody and I'll get real excited about having them on. So I ask them right then, I'm like, hey, I don't have an opening until here, but I want to get you on the show. So I don't follow my own advice on that very good at all.
I've been following your podcast for a little bit now.
Okay. Well, thank you. I have a fan. I'm just kidding.
But any way to get the word out.
100%.
Reach the moms of special needs and the dads and the, parents with children. Like, it's just, my goal is to just connect. It's huge.
And you never, ever know who's listening.
Yeah.
There may only be 10 people listening, which right now there's 11. But you don't ever know who it is. Yeah. Like I had a guest one time, and I'm not going to say who it is because it's not official yet, but once it's official, we're going to do a live together. She was a guest on my show. somebody heard it and heard how passionate she was about what she did, and she got a job offer to head up a department that they were creating specifically in her field and what she was passionate about.
Amazing.
Just because somebody was listening to my little old live stream
Yeah.
show on LinkedIn, you know it?
That's what happened with the broadcast that I was on for. It was a sit-down interview with our global news team in Toronto, called a segment called Making a Difference. And I had like 10 emails after that going, I have a child on the spectrum and I would like to order this, and my child, I'm going to send them to Scotland. I'm like, ooh. Like, just,
whoa.
It was crazy. And the funny part, I didn't even think to check my website after that aired. I was so emotional just by watching it. I was getting phone calls from family members and whatnot. And then I'm like, I think it was my dad that said, you check your website. I went and checked. I'm like, oh.
Kenny, I'm not going to tell you. You'll know. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you. You'll know whenever we go live together again and we announce it.
Oh, the person that's coming on?
Yeah, the person. So LinkedIn user, this is on your side. This is on your LinkedIn profile. I don't know who that is. So if you could tell us, dear LinkedIn user, who you are, or Christina can pull it up on her side and see.
Identify yourself.
Yeah, identify yourself. That is a privacy setting in your settings.
That's my settings? Or?
No, on her settings. On whoever that is, his or her, on the LinkedIn user, where it doesn't share your information with third party.
Suspenseful, trying to figure out who.
I know, right? Like, that's one reason I always have LinkedIn up on this side. So if one of those pops up, I can see who it is.
Yeah.
That said it. It just doesn't transfer over to Restream.
Got it. Oh my.
So yeah, we want to know who you are.
Oh, Sarah.
Oh, that's Sarah.
Sarah Santa Maria. Sorry, did I just give you away?
No. Yeah, she's my secret guest. Yeah, Kenny wants to know. So that's Sarah Santa Maria right there.
Yeah.
Well, look at her on your side and not on my side.
We just connected too.
Did you?
We did, and I think you might have mentioned her.
Yeah, I did a post a little over a week ago introducing her to my peoples, all my friends, all my female friends.
There's a lot of us.
There is a lot.
No, that didn't come out right. There's so many female entrepreneurs. It's so empowering.
There is, yeah.
It's so 100%. Empowering. And even on International Women's Day, I posted a photo of it said, I am a woman entrepreneur, but woman was crossed out. Yeah. And actually, an entrepreneur. The chat I had with the head CEO of a major toy company said to me, we have to get into a place where we are no longer calling them women CEOs. We are saying just CEO. And if I could have hugged her when she said that.
I agree 100%. There doesn't need to be any kind of separation, or you know what I mean?
Speaking of bridging the gap.
Yeah, bridging the
bridging
gap.
That gap too.
Yeah.
A lot of bridges. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So, but yes, oh my goodness. I want to know who else is on here.
Yeah, y'all pipe up if you're creeping,
very quiet.
If you're lurking. Yeah, very quiet. Well, we're waiting on more people to comment. Next week. Oh no, this week. This Thursday at 12 Central. Will Schmear and I volunteered to do virtual facials live on air with Amanda Duesberg. I hope I'm saying your name right, Amanda Duesberg. I will clarify that before we go live. She's a Mary Kay rep. She did so Ariel Lee did a post with a screenshot of her and Amanda both with mud on their face. They did like a virtual facial. And I commented, man, I need to step up my Zoom games. Mine are boring compared to this. Oh my God. That thread of that was like, you need to do it and go live. You need to do it and do it live. Do it and do it live. So I was like, so I messaged Amanda. I was like, hey, you want to do this live? She's like, heck yeah, I do. And then Will Schmear, he's a coach out of Florida. was in that same thread and said, hell, I'll do it live with you. So I got them both in a group chat and they were
Oh
like, yep,
my.
let's do it. So I got
That
my
will be
bag
interesting to watch.
of samples from Mary Kay.
Oh, Julie and I are going to be watching. Look.
Yeah, I know it. So Thursday at noon, I'm going to have mud all over my face live on there.
Let's go. You should just come on that way. Just show
she's
up.
gonna walk. She's gonna walk us through it, like how to do it, and prepare your face, and put it on, and all that kind of stuff.
You'll have the nicest skin around.
I will. What little bit is there? So this week, that's a special edition. We're going to do a special one-off. Next Monday night, I have Michael Funkhauser. He works with a company that kind of does like accelerator programs for entrepreneurs. Next Tuesday, I will be a guest on Julie's Live, Joyful Julie Live. This will be her second live stream. I've been producing for her and kind of getting her trained into doing it. I'm going to be a guest on that one, so I'm excited about that.
You're going to be in the other seat.
Yeah, I am going to be in the other seat. I'm going to be in the other seat while training her how to produce her own show. So it'll be fun. Yeah. And then next Wednesday, golly, I've got a lot going on. Next Wednesday for Ending the Stigma, I have my pastor, Avery's grandfather, is going to be on. He's been to prison 4 times. He was a drug dealer in Houston, and he got saved while he was in prison and turned his life around.
Wow.
So he's going to be on. So, and I don't know if you know this or not, I do a show too on every other Wednesday called Ending the Stigma, where we talk about the stigmas associated with felons and how
I watched your last one.
Okay. Oh, you did. That's right. You were on. Yeah, I saw you.
Yeah.
So my pastor,
puzzles.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. The nicest skin to go with the nicest spirit. It's doing all kinds of crazy stuff today. Like, I don't know if it's the humidity in the air.
Julie seems like my partner energy. I feel like we have the same energy.
Yeah, she's amazing. Yeah, she's one of those people that's in my corner 100%. She's been with,
George said it. George says you need those people in your corner.
Yep, we do.
Yeah. George.
So yeah, between now and Wednesday, there's 4 lives I'm going to be in.
Amazing.
Yeah, you need to send her a connection request, Julie.
I think we are connected.
Are you? You
might
might
have
be
connected today. I don't know.
Cool.
Like-minded individuals.
Yes.
And here I'm literally playing with the pieces.
Playing with your. That's awesome. I love it. So y'all check out Creative Beginning, www.creative-beginning.com. See all the cool things that are there. Reach out to Christina, connect with her. If you know anybody in the retail space that can help her out.
So ready.
She is ready for it, y'all. She is thirsty for it.
That's a great. You have the best comment. Thirsty for it. I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
you're ready.
The passion behind it. People are interested. They love it. They were seeing results with it. We're right in the middle of like a little study going on with them, tracking progress. I tracked Luca and saw where he went with it. So the ducks are all in order. Let's do it. Yeah.
If you're in the occupational therapy space or know somebody that is, holler at your girl, man. Special needs. Hi,
I'm your girl.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, that's your girl.
I'm petite little
that's your girl.
One over here. Yeah. Wait, no, I mirrored it before so I can see.
Yeah.
But you will be seeing a lot of Creative Beginning and the name Luca. So watch for us because the sky is the limit and we're just getting started. We've already taken a lot. So we're literally just getting started, but it's been a train ride.
Yeah, I bet.
A roller coaster. But I'm excited to continue sharing my story and sharing the products and just getting out there. So I appreciate you, your time and letting me chat.
Thank you for reaching out. Yeah, no, I loved it.
So fun.
It was fun. Yeah. Well, like I said, I love it when my guests are passionate. It makes for a really great conversation.
And I think I literally sent you, hey, how's it going? Great to connect. How about this?
Something like that. All right, let's do it.
Yep. If you can't sell yourself, you sell your passion, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
And it's more than just selling your product.
absolutely.
It's something you believe in. It's something that helps people, something that helps kids, will help adults when it gets into the OT space.
Yep. I had actually didn't even mention this. I had the blind and deaf department of a certain school board reach out, and they ordered a few for their blind students so they could actually feel and manipulate the space of the letters, which was
Oh, snap.
right.
Wow.
So, like, yeah.
So every time you turn around, just one more group of people
else
can benefit from it. And you're like, oh, why didn't I think it? It's just presenting itself to you. That's awesome.
And I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I need someone to help me get to those ones that I'm not recognizing yet. Right? I'd rather me see it and go for it than to like have somebody remind me of this space, if that makes sense, to keep building that. But I'm working on it.
Well, sometimes you need somebody to remind you, though. You can't always see everything.
Yeah. And like we were talking about, your mind gets so jumbled and you get so excited that you got to process everything that sometimes it can get hard. You know, you got to take care of that mental health.
Yeah.
Otherwise, anxiety creeps up on you and you're like,
yeah. Because it's not like you have to change much of anything to go into these different spaces. Like you don't have to change anything at all. Just a little bit different marketing strategy.
Exactly. And that marketing strategy, I knew nothing about initially. Like I had no marketing. What? I'm like, what? I maybe took one business course in university. And so thank God I love computers. I'm Googling and trying to figure out. Like,
yeah.
Can you do that? Yep, sure can. Let me go check.
Yeah, I can. Give me a minute. Let me ask Googler how to do it.
Well, even finding my manufacturer, Google.
Really?
I Googled and I found the manufacturer of the Disney puzzles.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how, but I did. And I reached out and I'm like, this is what I got. And I was so nervous at the beginning because you just don't know. Like,
right.
Make sure my ducks were in order. And you get my mom in the background going, are you sure? You sure?
No, I'm not, but I'm doing it.
And then it all worked out. And now it's like, oh.
That's awesome.
But now it's funny because you're at a point where you found them and they wanted to now they don't want to lose you. Manufacturers don't want to lose you. Like they want to keep you on board because things are moving forward and they're successful and they're making more. And they're like, when you submit another order, they're like, oh, okay. I'm like, but what better deal can you give me on that? Like it's
right.
You learn
now
that.
You have negotiating power.
Yes. Now I'm not just a one-woman show. I'm Creative Beginning.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
When you have that negotiation power too, that's powerful.
I think what was powerful too is getting the trademark. Getting my trademark to be the chalkboard base Creative Beginning, chalkboard base puzzles. That is me. No touch.
Right.
Creative Beginning is Christina Kalura. Just saying.
Yeah, right.
It's my baby. No pun intended. Just yeah.
Turn into a mama bear over it.
Oh. But you have to. Even
you do.
We're gonna keep going. But when I look at my son, even when he was diagnosed, people were like, "Oh, do you really? You know, he has autism, but do you really want to get that diagnosis?" Because people are afraid. Like we talked about putting the label on. I'm like, "Are you kidding? That will just put wheels in motion. That means that this is what he has. He is diagnosed. He needs this. This is what assistance he needs. He's had an EA with him since he was in grade 1, kindergarten, grade 1. Who's followed him, and she is amazing. And I don't know if I would have been able to get her if I didn't keep advocating for him. But you have to. You have to. Even with a child without special needs, you have to be the one to advocate for your child.
Right.
So, and I just, it's hard to explain, but you look at how far he's come now, and it's like, yes.
Yeah.
You can do it. Any child can do it.
Yeah. I love it.
That's my spiel.
Well, that's your spiel. It was a good
no
one.
tears.
No tears.
You almost got me.
Almost.
But you can't cut it because this is live.
No, I can't. You can't
But
cut it
George
out.
would be like, "You started crying." Straight up. Right when I get off here, he's gonna be like, "I saw it."
And that's okay. It really
Yeah.
is. Christina, thank you so much for coming on. I enjoyed it. It was a
Pleasure.
blast. Thank you, everybody that showed up. And
you.
I will see y'all Thursday with mud on my face.
Thank you for the support, as always,
Yeah.
to everybody.
Yeah. Y'all have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.